How do Mime Artists? Welcome to some brand new main stages, starting off with stage 671 Deerling. As you can see, going in with this team, there's Shiny Rayquaza that now can be Rise Max leveled a wee bit. There's also Noivern, there's Ho-Oh and Alolan Ninetales. Alolan Ninetales is that nice freeze plus ability. I don't think it went off during this run. It would be, if you're going to do it, try to get that to go off maybe towards the start. Would be very helpful if possible. If not, you can focus more on the Noiverns, just getting rid of all of those Deerling that come on the stage. The summer, autumn, winter ones. And the spring, I think spring is in there too. After that, this stage isn't too terrible. There's surprisingly high HP for what it is. Beyond that, it's not too traumatic of a stage. It's good just to go in, try to get as many Noivern matches as possible just for the shot out. I'm not sure if it needs skill swap to get shot out, but shot out Noivern is incredibly helpful here. Does a lot more damage and you're able to get rid of quite a few of those Deerling on the stage. The same with the Mega itself. You can pinpoint exactly where you want to get rid of the Pokemon, very helpful on a stage like this, where most of them are localized around one area. Ho-Oh, just a very good attacker. If you've not got any Deerling on the stage to use the Noivern, go in with a Ho-Oh match. It can do an awful lot of damage, which is very nice. To get an S rank on this stage, perhaps a disruption delay, or if there's an attack power, go with attack power. It just has strangely high HP for the little deer Pokemon, the first one of the set of 10, which are usually the easiest. But even with a lot of Noivern matches, with a lot of Ho-Oh matches, this did take a couple of tries for me to be able to beat. So for the S rank, maybe an attack power up, maybe leave it until your Pokemon are a wee bit more powerful. We can see. But can't really tell the catchability right here because of the... But there we go, wasn't able to catch it. It might just take a lot more tries just to be able to get that catchability right up a wee bit. It's probably not a Pokemon we're going to need anytime soon, but in the future it'll be one that should be quite fine to catch. Next up is Honedge, going in with Mega Camerupt, Ho-Oh. There's also another couple, but as you can see here, it starts off as a puzzle stage, so if you follow these moves exactly, you'll be able to beat it, which is very helpful. You'll be able to beat it without having any residue or any residual Pokemon on the stage, which is very nice. After that, you can just go in and bash out. The other two Pokemon were Meloetta and Buzzwole, as you might expect. Buzzwole, wonderful, you know all about it, it's incredibly powerful. Mine's is already level 17. Meloetta, I think's about level 15. Ho-Oh, I think's on its way to being level 13 or 14. And Camerupt, I think it goes up to level 13. But in this stage you just want to make matches of 4 with the Buzzwole because there's not that much HP, so just try to hit heavy with quite a few of the long good matches. So with Meloetta, that can be 3 or 5 as well, so it's good to have a mix of the ones that only hit 4 and the ones that hit 3 or 5 as well. Next up is Lollipop. This one It's a fairly standard, easy stage, a lot of disruptions on the field. You just try to get rid of them as you might expect, just making as many matches as possible. It's not got very much HP, and you're just trying to get rid of as many of those breakable blocks, just so you can try to get something towards resembling a combo perhaps. To S rank this stage, probably just a +5 moves would do it. It only has 8 moves in total, which is fairly fine. With the +5 moves, you'd have to be doing something quite wrong to not be able to get the S rank on this stage. If you want to swap out the Lucario for something like the Gengar or the shiny Gyarados, go with that. Lucario isn't very necessary, might even be better to take one of those along. And then after this we have Sawsbuck. This is the autumn, spring, summer, one of them. Anyway, for this stage, it's one of the few stages that I think I've ever used Mega Houndoom on, just because there are a lot of ice blocks. I tried it with Mega Blaziken, but it never really worked too well. It was maybe about 3/4 of its health were gone by the end. I thought perhaps going for combos over getting rid of the disruptions would be better, but it never really worked out that way. You were just never able to really get a good combo going. So Mega Houndoom I went with. It's not the best when there aren't ice blocks on the stage, but as you'll see, there are continually, for the first maybe half of the stage, 4 ice blocks every couple of turns, and then after that it will be just down the sides, down both edges, which is not the best, but when you've got Mega Houndoom you can get rid of almost all of those in just one match. Mine hasn't been Mega Candied at all. It's not one that I use often. I think it's only about level 8 or 9. So it doesn't need to be really highly leveled, because no doubt Ho-Oh will be really highly leveled. Reshiram, very good on this stage, just to be able to get rid of some of those rogue ice blocks at the start especially. And after that there's also Incineroar, which does a lot of damage when you make a match of 4. So it's a nice mix of being able to do a lot of damage here, and being able to get rid of the disruptions. There were some other matches that I can now see that could have been made that would have definitely finished it with 5 moves left. The +5 moves isn't exactly necessary, I wouldn't say. I did have, I think this is maybe the 3rd or 4th try, and I was just able to beat it. +5 moves probably isn't necessary. See how you feel going through the stage. If you're not getting maybe about 4/5 of the way through the health, give a +5 moves a shot. But there we go. Here we have Doublade up next, going in +5 moves and a mega start. As there are an awful lot of unbreakable blocks on this stage, that's why there's Gallade, that's why there's the Golurk, the funky hat looking Pokemon. The Ho-Oh is there kind of for the attack, it's super effective, it's got a lot of attack power behind it. I like using it on stages. It's not going to be your main attacker most of the times, as there will almost always be quite a few unbreakable blocks, but if ever you don't have any, you can try and make a match with a Ho-Oh just to get a little bit more damage out there. So Mega Tyranitar is not very effective on this stage. Mega Camerupt is. I did try Mega Camerupt, but it did not work as well for me. I liked having the free tappers, as you'll see towards the end of the stage. There are an awful lot of unbreakable blocks on the stage that 2 taps doesn't really get rid of, and that you need the free tapping Pokemon more for. At this early stage it's fairly nice, it's relaxed, there's only 3 being thrown on at a time of the unbreakable blocks, but that does ramp up fairly quickly. It's best not to have your Megas at the bottom, as they are just now, as that's where most of the disruptions will be. If you can, towards about this point in the stage, about 7 moves left, try to keep them roughly to the middle-ish. There's a line that will be disrupted as well. I think it's the second top or third top and the very bottom. As you can see here, second top and very bottom. So just being able to have some Megas would certainly have brought down the number of moves left. Just have had a couple of Megas on the stage, about 6 or 7 moves left, just to be able to get rid of those unbreakable blocks first time around. Unfortunately the Gallade and the Golurk didn't go off, but that happens, that's the RNG. And there we go, 4 moves left. So the +5 moves, fairly helpful, may not be entirely necessary, but it's a nice little safety net with the Mega start. And next up here we have Herdier, however you want to say it. Going in, Mega Lucario, Machamp, Meloetta, and Buzzwole. Buzzwole as always. So if you make that move you can get rid of all the Herdier on the stage. Then it's going to throw some Arcanine for some reason, and also Herdier, whatever you want to call it. After that it's just a fairly average stage that will slightly disrupt, but I'd focus on making matches primarily with the Buzzwole, just because that's got a fantastic damage output and quite a fairly high probability of it going off. And then after that making matches with the Buzzwole or the Mega Lucario, the Meloetta or the Mega Lucario. To get an S rank on this stage, a +5 moves, that would probably do it. Couldn't think of much else, as it's not too tricky a stage. It's got kinda high HP, but you're also doing a lot of damage if you're able to get the Buzzwoles working. And there we go, there's a little gift as well, personal skill booster for the Herdier. Not exactly sure what Herdier's skill is, don't think I've ever used it, but it's nice to have skill boosts. Hey. Next up is Elgyem. This one is one that you want to have Elgyem along with you on the stage. As you can see, it disrupts itself with itself, and when it does that it will get rid of some of those unbreakable blocks. I did try this not bringing along Elgyem as well, and I brought along Lunala for the Psychic combo, and that worked very well as well. It was about the same, this one had a couple of moves left more than the Lunala run, but in that even the Elgyem was disrupting itself with itself after a couple of turns. This way you're doing a lot less damage, so it feels a lot longer. The combos are a lot more because, as you can see, you're doing 30 damage a match with the Elgyem. Once you get Spookify going with Mimikyu, it's slightly faster because Mimikyu will start to do more damage, Gengar will do a little more damage, but beyond that it's a fairly slow stage with just a lot of combos in it, and you're not doing incredible amounts of damage because of the Elgyem. It's an okay stage nonetheless. A fairly average 3 Pokemon stage. Once you've got Spookify going, if there are unbreakable blocks left on the stage, just go in with matches with the Elgyem, that way you can get rid of them and have slightly more combos and be rid of this stage all the sooner. To S-rank it, maybe do it a couple times, that's as much as will be needed. I think I missed the S-rank by 1 move in this run, which isn't the best, but I'll just go in, I can do it again. Just hope for slightly better combos, and that's all you'll need to do. Plus 5 moves I really don't think will be necessary. And there we go, 7 moves left. You just need to wait on the dreaded combos to finish. And there's a skill boost for Elgyem as well. Not that I've ever used it, except on this stage. As you can see, it's level 1, but there we go, it's fine. And then after that we have Stoutland going in full fighting team. This one swapped out the Machamp for Beware, just because Beware can do a lot of damage and can hold off the Disruption for the turn, which is very effective. If you can get that turn 1 or turn 2 of this, very good, that will be able to get rid of or it'll hold off the disruptions that, as you can see, can be fairly disruptive to your run. If you're able to get rid of or hold off the disruptions for a turn or 2, you can then go in with matches with the Meloetta, with the Buzzwole if possible. Once your Mega's working, try to get rid of the unbreakable blocks as well down the side. And that's about this stage. It's not too terrible, the HP isn't incredibly high, just a couple of 4 matches with the Buzzwole will be able to take it out quite comfortably. And there we go, 1 move left. If you want to throw in a plus 5 moves, you'd be fairly guaranteed to get the S rank, but doing it just a couple of times, you might be able to get it without that if you can get some good luck with the with the Beware. Penultimately here we have Drillbur going in with Shiny Gyarados. Not entirely necessary as a Mega. If you want to take something else that maybe you can use a Tapper, that would be completely fine on a stage like this. There's also Volcanion, another reason to switch them out. They look slightly similar in coloration, I'm not sure about you, but when playing it I did get a little confused between the two of them, wasn't always able to be too clear which one was which and where was where and what was what and how was how. Along with that, there's also Ash Greninja, super effective, does an awful lot of damage. Shaymin's here because if the disruptions go off, it's just a lot of breakable blocks, which as the name suggests can be broken but do disrupt some of your combos just a wee bit. And there we go, it's not too shabby, not too hard at all for the S rank. Plus 5 moves, maybe swap out the Mega for something that you can use to tap to get rid of some more of the breakable blocks. You could even take in, I think it's the Winking Manaphy that's got the block smash or block break plus, brick break, one of those, and that would be very good just to be able to help get rid of some of those disruptions. Lastly here we have Aegislash going in, +5 moves Mega Start. Mega Start is very necessary as there's a lot of blocks on the stage and there will be a lot of blocks in the Skyfall. You'll just very much want to be able to get a turn 1 Tyranitar match. And then to go from there, you've just got to keep trying to make Tyranitar matches for the first wee while. After that, the stage gets slightly easier. The first couple of moves are the hardest. Your board might reset a couple of times, which isn't the best, but it might just be unfortunately necessary. After that, it's a fairly easy stage. As you can see, I didn't really bring any Pokemon to get rid of some of the unbreakable blocks, just because once those are gotten rid of by the Mega Tyranitar, going in with the heavy hitters like Buzzwole, Ho-Oh, Meloetta, you can do a lot of damage and take out the stage very quickly. The S rank on this, go with a team like this. If you've got good luck, you should be able to S rank it first time around. Towards the end there are some more unbreakable blocks. Not the best. At this point you should have Tyranitar, should be working away, should always be on the stage. There we go, 9 moves left. Fairly fine for what is the last of this set of 10 stages. We'll see what happens in the next 10. But thank you very much for watching, and how do, Mime Artists?
Eggs! Eggs! E-double-G-S eggs!